Test. Okay.
Big Mountain Trouble. I can't.
Okay, let's go. We going? Are we going? Up, up, in. Up, up, in. Come on. In. Get out of the way. Come on. Up. Good girls.
Good girl. Yeah, this will do. Good girl. Sorry, Bandit's beating up Brit. All right, welcome to episode 2 of Big Mountain Trouble. We're out on the Whiskey Trail today, outside of Rossland. You can see it in the background. We've been hiking through the forest for a couple hours. Beautiful November morning. So in today's episode, I want to quickly talk about how I get my ideas. I've always loved to be outside, biking, hiking, kayaking, and my mind tends to wander. When I was a little kid on the way to school, I hated every day of school as a kid. But on the way to school, I would just think fantastical ideas like being trapped on a prison planet somewhere off Mars, or evil zombie Nazis were herding me towards the labor camps in their underground Antarctica facility. All that stuff became the genesis for ideas later on in my career. Nowadays, fortunately, I don't have to go to school, but I still find myself kind of wandering around thinking up crazy concepts. So what I like to do is go for a walk, and it usually starts with a scenario. It's not particularly a story. It's usually just kind of a moment. For this book, which is called Slice, the moment was a great big, muscular, blue-skinned man with a unicorn's head. And I saw this guy, this unicorn man, sitting on a throne, eating apples. And his mane was black and greasy and kind of hanging over his face. And he was just sitting in this big throne room. He's really muscular and powerful, big horse's head with this big white horn sticking off it. Now, it was crazy. I don't even remember how this idea came up, but I started thinking about it. And from there, I started reverse engineering this kind of scene. And it eventually led to this story. What I would do then is I kind of think about the key beats of the story. And this is what I put into a beat chart. And it's definite work in progress. It's always changing. But I start mapping out a bit of a story. And once I get the kind of key beats in order and feeling right, I tend to then sort of break it into acts. And that helps me identify where the transitions are between scenes. And this is basic process. It's usually, a lot of the time nowadays, it's when I'm kayaking, sometimes when I'm out for a walk, but it's usually a few hours, just kind of running this through my head, and then I sit down and put it down in a notebook. Another big part of the process is music. I like to, when I'm fleshing out scenarios and trying to figure out the beats, I'll put together a folder. For Slice, it had about 20 songs in it. Real mix of stuff from a lot of ambient, Atticus Ross and Moby, to Ministry. A lot of Rage Against the Machine, stuff that really spoke to the kind of energy of these giant battle pieces I'm putting together. Overall, music has been a big part of my career, my process. Worked with audio teams all over the world, and I've learned from the best that music is an integral part of a fiction. If you're wondering why my voice is like this, it's because Bandit decided that our adventure wasn't big enough and ran away. But we found her, and now she's on leash, won't sit still. And she took us about an hour off the trail. So now we're on the long trek back to the truck because somebody has been a very bad dog. And that's why we call this Big Mountain Trouble. Got questions or feedback? Email me, hit like, subscribe. Let me know how it's going.